Welcome, Collective, to Timeless Energy. I'm Barbara. This is a general timeless reading. This is entertainment purpose only. If it doesn't resonate, please do not try to make it fit. Watch out for scammers in the comment section. This is my disclaimer. I do not reach out. It is not me. Thank you for liking, subscribing. By all means, press that subscribing button there. It's going to help me build my channel. Thank you for your comments. They're always appreciated. And of course, there is a link to PayPal for anybody who's interested in sending a donation in my way. Okay. We're going to start with the runes oracles. Seem to be having a little problem with the throat chakra. We pull one of these. Timeless energy message of the day. Timeless energy. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. Timeless energy message of the day. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. Timeless energy message of the day. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. Timeless energy message of the day. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. Timeless energy message of the day. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. The Runes Oracle. Okay. The Gaz. The day. The transformation. The rune of the dawn of the light which dominates the shade. It represents the transformation. Well, that definitely applies to my experience today, because the light, when it's shined out over subject matter, which is what I believe that they're talking about, revealing something that was hidden before, something that you weren't aware of, something maybe that you didn't think about. Okay, now, anybody who's watched me before knows that we're pulling 3 cards for the energy. Spirit guide me. 3 cards for Timeless Energy's message today. 3 cards for Timeless Energy message today. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. Message for the Timeless Energy today. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. Message for the Timeless. Oop. There we go. The Page of Pentacles. And this is in the reverse. Let me set that right there. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. The Timeless Energy message for today. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. The Timeless Energy message for today. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. The Timeless Energy message for today. And we have the 4 of Pentacles. And that is also in the reverse. One more card for today's Timeless Energy message. Spirit guide me. One more card for the Timeless Energy message for today's Spirit guide me. One more card. And we have the Judgment card. Always love when that comes up. Okay. Now, let's take a look at what we've got. Page of Pentacles. Now, all of the pages are messages, so we know that the Page of Pentacles is a message, and this is in reverse. This is a failure to recognize the obvious facts. It can be unfavorable news or loss. In reverse. I always knew that the pages were messages, but as far as the Page of Pentacles, well, as a young energy, in some cases, if you're dealing with a young person or a junior craftsman, it does suggest new beginnings. If you're working really hard, you're working on a cash or an investment or building a foundation, a new beginning, building a foundation. This can be a bearer of news connected to building of a foundation. Because the Page of Pentacles, it does represent messages in regards to money. But the Page of Pentacles, it can suggest foundation, the beginning of investments, or what you're working for in the future. Now, it is a young energy, the Page. Being careful with your finances. In reverse, however, which is what we're looking at right here, in reverse, you could be wasting a lot of time. Idle. Maybe you're making bad financial investments. But the Page of Pentacles normally is ruled with a Virgo energy, which is normally grounded and practical. It could represent your health. So, without actually going over the other two cards to see what the message is, we can't exclude the possibility of bad health in this situation. Mercury and Virgo overwhelm this card. This is the energy from the Page of Pentacles. And in reverse, Mercury being communication. It could be like Mercury retrograde if you study astronomy. Maybe miscommunication. You didn't get the message. Maybe you got the message, but it wasn't what you expected to hear. Okay? So a little bit on the backwards there. We've got a trickster energy with this card too. You know, the thing about the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it's bad news, money problems. It could represent that someone doesn't appreciate you, or maybe you've been given some type in the energy, if you're around somebody, proof that there's no appreciation being sent in your direction. In that case, in particular, it would probably be, like if that resonates with you, it would have to be someone very close where you probably think you deserve some type of recognition or appreciation. But in reverse, the Page of Pentacles is definitely having to do with the foundation. In reverse, well, you know what? In the upright, building a foundation, building finances. In reverse, that would be opposite of building a foundation. Maybe choosing another direction regarding the foundation choices that are being presented to you. Because, see, the foundation is your entire stability, and if the foundation isn't right for you, then you're going to look for other options. So in reverse, the Page of Pentacles is news. It's normally something that's presented to you directly. It could just be a message, but normally a message that's presented to you directly. Let's move on to the rest of our message, because we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is the throat chakra. The Four of Pentacles is in reverse, and it is the throat chakra. You know who you are. You're not afraid to show it. And you can express yourself in many ways. Now, ruled by Capricorn and the Sun. This has to do with your identity and maybe possibly your ego. It's in reverse. Okay, so this would be connected to also appreciation or lack of it, if it's connected to your ego in reverse. Your foundation, the news, the ego in reverse, the lack of appreciation. Normally the Capricorn energy would be an ambitious energy. Now the thing about it is, a foundation that a person has, normally you have to be pretty ambitious to maintain or build a foundation. If it's built in the right way, you're providing for other people. It's not as easy as it sounds. Everybody seems to be able to do it, but in reverse. We're talking about a lack of appreciation, and this is either a fear of loss or somebody who is putting out an energy of being miserly. Maybe there is an energy of being miserly because of a fear of loss, where you think that you're appreciated, your ego in reverse. No appreciation, or not the kind of appreciation that you are deserving of, due to an energy that's miserly, and possibly due to a fear of loss, if it's yourself or somebody who is not willing to part with whatever is required for a foundation. So this is a message, and this message hurt somebody's ego. Now, if it's not your ego, you know what? We're dealing with the Capricorn energy, right? But over here, the message is a Virgo energy. So if you have a Virgo or a Capricorn around you and you want to resonate with this, it could be applied to a person who is a Virgo or a Capricorn. But in this particular, the message, the news was received, the foundation and all of that. And the ego has been hurt. There has been some proof of a failure to appreciate or give recognition. And it has to do with the foundation. I'm going to expand what a foundation is, because I automatically think of your home. In this case, it could be the foundation of your savings. It could be, oh, by the way, in reverse, this could indicate that your spending habits really are bad. And maybe you don't have as much as you're coming across. But whatever it is, the next card is Judgment. And unlike the first two, the Judgment is upright. Now, the Judgment is the crown chakra. It indicates that you can adapt to changes. It indicates that you can see yourself without forming a negative judgment. But your senses are sharp. And you might need some type of guidance. Now, with the Judgment in the upright, it could be a call of action. Evaluation or assessment of a situation might be necessary. Change might be necessary. Now, only you could decide on what kind of change. If a Judgment card, the energy of the Judgment card indicates that there should be some kind of reflection or assessment on the possibility of making some kind of changes. It focuses on a situation that you're currently experiencing. This is not focusing on the judgment of a person in particular, but just the situation that you're currently in. Or provoking an entirely new direction from maybe the one that you had originally thought that you were going in based on the message. That clearly indicated that you were not appreciated, or that you were not given the kind of respect that you should have had coming to you. Now, with the Judgment, if it's a person, who's the referee in a situation if you're having an issue? Making necessary or important changes. The Judgment card doesn't bring in the energy of critiquing or condemning if it's a person. We want to be really clear on this, especially if it's romantic or if it's a very close friendship. At best, it describes that a person is self-aware. I mean, if you're going to go into an evaluation based on, and it has to do a message that has to do with the ego, as the Four of Pentacles in reverse would be financial carelessness. You know what? It might not be your financial carelessness. So why would that affect your ego? If someone else has been inconsiderate, lacking of respect, and careless financially, or maybe fearful of loss, a miser that has no respect for the fact that you might have something that you deserve coming to you. someone who's not willing, because it wouldn't be theirs anymore. Well, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of judgment, but this judgment energy suggests that if you're dealing with a person, that it is not to criticize, but to reflect and maybe to make some changes or consider what other options that you might have, because the Four of Pentacles advises us to relinquish control to some extent. Now, if you're dealing with a miser who's fearing loss, that might not happen, but this is the suggestion of the Four of Pentacles. There are times holding back a little cash for a rainy day, an expected cost, that would be beneficial. You know what? Savings and miser are two different things. Miser is a person or an energy that is saying, although subconsciously I realize that you're not a risk and you definitely deserve some kind of recognition, I'm not willing to part with it. But this is how far I will go. And that can hurt the ego of the person who's on the deserving side of that formula. Personally, with that kind of mistreatment in this kind of energy, there would be judgment. And it's perfect that that landed in the third. Perfect. I'm not meaning that you are being judgmental or criticizing the other person, but you know what? You would definitely assess this news, this message, what occurred, even if it's not something that's happening right at that very moment, but maybe something that might be happening in the future. You're definitely taking a different perspective, a different point of view. Maybe actually even willing to look at what the other options are. For the journey ahead. What I'm seeing is that something has provoked an entirely different direction or thought process. Something or someone has provoked an entirely new direction. You might have had a loss of trust or faith. You might have suddenly decided that whoever you're dealing with is something that maybe you're not willing to put your trust on. You know, you're dealing with people that you don't know very well, and the promise is verbal. You'll notice a lot of people, when they make promises, they're verbal. Maybe you're dealing with the news. Your ego has been bruised. You're in self-reflection and you're wondering where you're going to end up. Maybe you should check the other directions, the other options. Maybe a situation where there is a more solid foundation, because we did start with a foundation that is solid. In most cases, a foundation, if it's a rental situation, it means that the foundation has your name somewhere on the paperwork, so that the roommate can't just toss you out on the street. Well, I don't know very much about landlords or leases, but you know what? The foundations of a leasing agreement or a rental agreement or an ownership agreement, I would question the foundation. Do you have legal rights? You're questioning the decision that you're taking, and this is for some kind of decision, something that's going to be coming up in your future. And you're going, I might not be so happy with the situation that I'm in, and I might want to make some changes. And this would be based on the message that you got. Now, the Page of Pentacles is connected to something that's tangible, something you can hold on to. Okay? And it could, maybe not necessarily a foundation, but something that's tangible, something you can hold on to. The difference between a rental vehicle, a cab, completely owning the vehicle that you need to drive to work. This could be something tangible, but it does actually lean very heavily in the direction of the foundation. And in reverse, we're talking about making bad financial investments, wasting your time, being idle. The news being bad, the bearer of the news, usually represents money, but then we come into this and we are definitely looking at the money connected to the foundation. I think that I couldn't possibly elaborate on that very much, except for one small thing that I have not actually included, would be that the Judgment card is a Pluto energy. And the one thing about the Pluto energy is when it goes around out there in the sky, it is the one that takes the longest to go around. So this is a long-term generational energy. So if there are changes, or if there are considerations of, should I make a change? Whatever it is that you're thinking of, or whatever it is that you're looking at, is long term. It will affect the rest of your life. It will affect the life of your children. It might affect the life of your grandchildren. This is a long-term generational energy. The Pluto is to overcome obstacles. And this is in the upright. So that message there that hurt your ego, this energy here says to overcome the obstacles. And you know what? Considering changes and looking at the other options are all fine and dandy. But whatever you come up with, you're looking at long-term and generational. And this is also the energy of change through upheaval. It's a very strong indication, because of the Pluto, that this is upheaval that causes all of this. Now, I'm not even going to go into that, because you know what? Upheaval can come to us in many different ways. My goodness, I watch the news, the volcanoes, the war, any kind of upheaval that makes you or forces you to change your direction. Might start off with a little page carrying a message. Might start off with your identity and your ego being bruised or hurt in some way. This is something that might have a reflection on your long-term goals that have to do with money, security, or possessions. And the thing about it is, you might be dealing with the fear of loss, and you might be dealing with a miser, which is something that you've got no control over. But whatever happens in this situation is long-term generational impact, and the changes of direction need to be very carefully thought out. Now, the transformation. And I did almost say transportation, didn't I? I've done that before. The transformation is change. Okay? That doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a change. It definitely says that the energy indicates that you might consider the impact of your future by making changes. This is the light which dominates the shade, which means something you never thought of before has suddenly come to light. It didn't occur to you before. You know what? You could be dealing with finding out about what something has been done to a third party. And it might occur to you, wow, if that person or that company would do that to that third party, which is way higher up on that ladder than I am, they could do it to me. Sudden light has been put out there, has the light bulb, the message, the light bulb, and it's made you reflect. Somebody's ego might have been hurt. Somebody might be considering changes. I do believe that that's as thorough as I can get for today's message. I do hope that you enjoyed today's Timeless Energy, and I do certainly hope that you come back again, or please watch some of my older videos. We are Timeless Energy. Any one of the messages that are out there could apply. Any one of the messages that are out there might resonate with you. I do appreciate, please press that subscribe button. I desperately need some people to help build my channel. Please don't forget to press that subscribe button, press that like button. By all means, make a comment if you think that there might be some improvement. By all means, make a comment, and thank you for visiting Timeless Energy today.